So we start in the car, Jiang Cheng already asking Yuyan to take responsibility and she's just not resisting. And the driver is sitting there so uncomfortable you almost feel bad. Almost. Our protagonist thinks to himself how good it is he's got the system upgrade, and right then his friend Soo-jin messages asking if he's free for lunch. He says yes and thanks her for breakfast, which is funny because we just saw him with another woman, but okay. They meet up and she tries to walk past a luxury store like, we don't need to go in, and he hits her with looking costs nothing, classic. He asks if she likes any bags. She says she invited him for a walk not to buy her things, and he tells her not to overthink it because this is normal between couples. Soo-jin internally panics because his gifts usually cost tens of thousands. He tries to use his refund card, but apparently can't, so he only buys one bag. Then she takes him to a restaurant on the 4th floor whose flavor she guarantees, and guess who's in the back? The streamer girlfriend. She recognizes him immediately, wonders who the goddess next to him is, and Soo-jin is just standing there asking if they know each other. The streamer apologizes to her viewers and ends the broadcast, then introduces herself as Jiang Chen's friend. Soo-jin notices her gaze is strange, but decides not to cause misunderstanding. Jiang Chen thinks to himself that this is getting interesting. The streamer invites them to her table. He says no. She ignores him and takes Soo-jin's arm, saying she doesn't usually come across beauties and doesn't have time to make friends because of live streaming, then calls the waiter before anyone can argue. Jin asks what they should do and Jiang Chen just decides to sit, so they join the table. The streamer notices his watch and asks what brand it is because it looks expensive. He says it's not that expensive, it's a children's model. She doesn't believe him and starts searching on her phone, so he admits it's Richard Miller. She's shocked because those watches cost millions. Then while Soo-jin tries the meat, the streamer asks how they met, and Soo-jin tells her they're high school classmates. The streamer acts normal, but under the table she starts bothering him with her feet. He didn't expect her to play this way, so he holds her foot and she accidentally screams. He smiles and wonders what she'll do next, then starts tickling her. She has to laugh out loud and pretend she remembered something funny. Soo-jin tells her to start eating, but she says she can't stop because the joke is really funny while shooting him a please forgive me look. He agrees and she runs to the bath. 3 minutes later, he watches as both girls start sharing contact info and the streamer declares Soo-jin her best friend. He's just smiling at. Then he gets a message about his other invitation. His girlfriend tells him not to worry about them. The streamer says she won't get bored, and he leaves. He arrives at the bar where the club girls immediately start whispering about how handsome he is. The white-haired friend says he'll cover the night's expenses, but the other friend refuses and says he should apologize to Brother Jian instead. So he orders 5 sets of the Golden Dragon. Each set costs 888,000. Other customers are stunned, and the friend can't believe he's being that generous while the other guy says he's spending his savings. Jiang Chen checks his information panel and is surprised his friendship level is quite high. A beautiful woman approaches to toast. He notices she seems foreign, and she explains her mom is Chinese, but she doesn't have nationality, so she has to work 10 years for permanent residency, and she's a model. He tells her she'd have a better future in influencing. She asks if he really thinks so because she doesn't know if beauty standards will accept, and he says they're in the influencer era now, and she just needs to say she loves this country to get millions of followers. She says she actually recorded some videos, but they didn't get many followers, so he repeats that she just needs to say she loves the country. She asks if he's serious. His friend asks if he wants to get into the influencer business, and he says no. The only thing that interests him is the way to make money because behind influencers, there's a lot of money, and the real business is in the platforms and company. His friend gets interested and they talk about how this business will change the economy. Jiang Chen thinks to himself that this guy is definitely the son of the richest man and that in the coming years short videos are going to explode. He remembers that before he was born the market reached $400 billion. 2 hours later, one friend says goodbye, and Jiang Chen thinks to himself that his companion is the best of all the girls before saying goodbye to his friend. Then the streamer girlfriend shows up calling him husband, right as the blonde model thanks him for teaching her things and says she'll follow his advice before getting in her car. The girlfriend sarcastically asks where they're going and he says home. She says she thought he'd go with his other girlfriend and he says he could, so she immediately backtracks and asks him not to get angry, saying she's really in love with him and has become a little greedy. He asks if he doesn't treat her well enough and she says he does, but she's still afraid he'll leave her and forget her. He says he won't, that he'll never stop loving his own woman. She gets bold and asks if he'll be able to satisfy her at night. They get to her apartment and he puts her on the bed and gives it to her like a drawer that won't close. Next morning she asks if he's hungry and offers to buy him something. He says no because he plans to go out together. He asks what she normally eats and she says instant noodle. He asks about rent. She says 1,600, which isn't bad for such a small space. She's used to it and it's not easy to find a good place in this city. He asks why she doesn't live in the dorms and she says her roommates are very sarcastic and started talking behind her back. Once she began he understands and tells her to look for an apartment near the university and he'll pay for it. She gets happy and hugs him. He looks at her closet and says they'll also buy clothes. She says it's not necessary because he's already given her many things and all she wants is a small part of his heart. He tells her it doesn't matter if she asks for a house or a car because he'll give it to her. She comments that she fell in love with a womanizer and says she won't leave his side. They go to a well-known store where the manager recognizes him and thinks to herself that she can't believe he's come with another woman, but at least he'll spend a fortune. They make purchases. The system returns 100 times the investment, and he gets 48 million. Then they see a child who introduces himself, explains his mother needs surgery, and asks for help. The girlfriend is moved and crouches down to help while passersby comment that it's a scam. Jiang Cheng notices the kid's gaze isn't that of a scammer, so he gives his contribution too. The child thanks his brothers and wishes them a long life. The system reacts and gives him the perception of intention, so he can perceive if someone is honest or hypocritical. He's surprised. Passersby wonder if he's crazy for giving so much money, while others find him familiar from a trending video. He activates the new ability and discovers the child was telling the truth, so he lifts him up and asks how much more he needs. The child says 28,000, that both his father and he went out to beg because no one helped. Jiang Cheng says this is all the fault of scammers pretending to be sick and gives him 100,000 yuan. The child tries to refuse because his mother only needs 28,000. The girlfriend wonders what's happening to her boyfriend. He explains the rest is for treatment after the operation. The child thanks him again and says he'll repay him when he's older. The system notifies him that he saved a young man who had lost faith in the world and gives him danger perception. He's surprised again. An hour later after leaving the child, the girlfriend says seeing his mother made her feel like luxurious things are unnecessary. He gets a call from his friend, saying his car is repaired and inviting him to a track. They arrive and the friends talk about an event. One friend jokes about the other not liking super sports cars even though he has a collection at home. The girlfriend marvels at the cars because it's her first time seeing so many models. The friend calls her sister-in-law and says she can try any car after reserving the place. She looks at Jiang Cheng and he says she can go for a run. The friend calls a coach to take care of her, then looks at Jiang Chen's car and says he's envious. Jiang Cheng asks if he really doesn't have a car, and the friend says he's had many accidents so his family banned him from buying cars, and he doesn't have the money anyway. Jiang Cheng tells him if he doesn't have it, he just needs to get it. The friend says after investing in the stock market, he only got a small profit. The system delivers the information card for the US stock market and gives a mission to invest with his friends with a reward of 5 refund cards. Jiang Cheng decides to share the information, takes out his phone, and says he recently got privileged information that could get them a 25% profit. The millionaire friend is surprised because the stock market usually only gives 3 or 4%, so this shouldn't be reliable. The other friend asks where he got the information. Jiang Cheng makes up a story and assures them the stocks have no risk. He says he can't give details, but if they're interested, they can let their company manage the operation. The other friend signs up with his few $100,000 in savings. Jiang Cheng says it's a small amount, but he'll still get a large profit. The curious friend asks how much he plans to invest, and Jiang Cheng shows him his phone. The friend is shocked and asks if he robbed a bank. The other friend says people usually call him the son of the richest man, but seeing this maybe he's not. Jiang Cheng tells him to think it over and says he just needs to transfer the money to his company. In the end, the friend decides to invest 100 million. The girlfriend approaches and thinks to herself that she can't believe her boyfriend is investing 600 million and wonders which family she married into. Jiang Cheng asks the friend if he should lend him money and the friend says no, he'll find another way. The other friend jokes that if it bothers him, he could give it to him instead. They agree on the investment and leave. The girlfriend asks if he saw her driving and says it was exciting. He asks if she liked it and if she wants him to buy her a car. She refuses and says with all the donations he gave her, she already has enough to buy one, but she still wants to think it over carefully. He remembers her apartment and understands she's not a wasteful girl, so he shouldn't force her. A track manager says everything is ready. The friends head to the track and wonder what the prize will be. They ask Jiang Cheng what they usually bet, and he asks what they usually bet. They say 10,000 per head and winner takes all. He suggests donating the whole prize in the name of the race. The friends love the idea and say they can't lose, then run off to tell the other competitor. They finish getting dressed and prepare for the start. The first round begins, and Jiang Cheng thinks to himself that since it's his first time, he can't steal the spotlight from the veteran. The first round ends and they announce Miss Ananian as the winner. She approaches the friend and asks why he had a poor performance. He says he hasn't raced in a while and asks if she dares to go another round. She accepts and says if she wins again, he has to call her big sister. The second race begins and Jiang Cheng unexpectedly takes the lead. Miss An presses the accelerator and catches up. He doesn't let her overtake and starts drifting through the lap. The spectators comment that he looks like a professional driver. He wins the second round. His friends congratulate him, and he says since he was new to the track, he didn't want to steal the spotlight in the first round. Miss An approaches and praises his skill. He greets her and thinks to himself that he thought she'd be more aggressive, and also notices her hands are soft. She wonders why he seems hypnotized by her hand and asks if he has a hand fetish, then immediately asks him to add her contact. The friends can't believe the aggressive Anian took the initiative to ask for his contact. He smiles and uses his new intention ability to see what she wants, then realizes she has many suitors. He says they'll have other opportunities to get to know each other and introduces his girlfriend. Miss An asks what he has to offer her, then approaches the streamer and says, "The next round is for girls," asking if she'll participate too. The streamer asks if she's talking to her, and that's where we leave it. A thrilling street race comes to an end as a sleek orange sports car blasts across the finish line under a bridge marked Pyre. An announcer excitedly declared, "In the blink of an eye, the results of the competition are in, And without a doubt, Han Anning is number one. Let's congratulate Han Anning once again. Cars pull into the pit area, and Han Anning, a striking girl in a red racing suit, stands confidently by her vehicle, thinking to herself, look closely everyone. In the current race, Han Anning is still unstoppable and charging ahead. Although Kyo Yinian is behind, she is also very strong and is chasing closely. Meanwhile, inside one of the cars, Kyo Yinian grips the steering wheel tight, her eyes filled with determination as she thinks, so what if he's in your car? You're still the one driving. I'm determined to get first place. Before the race had started, Yinian had looked nervously at Jiang Cheng sitting beside her, making intense eye contact as she asked, "Honey, this girl named Anning is amazing. If I go, I'll probably just be a supporting player. Should I even respond to her?" She then hesitantly requested, could you sit in the passenger seat? I'm afraid I'll get nervous." Jiang Cheng smiled reassuringly, telling her, "Even if you lose, it's okay. The important thing is the experience. Sign up." Trying to sweeten the deal, Yinian playfully offered, "Okay, I'll kneel down tonight, all right." Jiang Cheng leaned in close to her ear, a super quiet atmosphere settling between them as he whispered, "Sure, but there are conditions." That's a bold negotiation. Fast forward to the end of the race, confetti rains down around them as Yinian excitedly jumps into Jiang Cheng's arms, hugging him tightly and cheering, "Wow, honey, that was so exciting. Even though we lost, it was so much fun." Jiang Cheng catches her with a smile, replying, You ran well. I didn't expect you to have this kind of potential." Outside, Yinian shakes hands with a pink-haired racer, saying gracefully, "Congratulations on getting second place." The other racer smiles back, "Actually, this was my first time racing, and I'm quite happy to be a fraction of a second behind you." Han Anning then approaches Jiang Cheng, leaning back on her car and winking at, "I was just driving it casually earlier. If I had known you were this strong, I would have gone all out. I've never failed to get what I want," she says boldly. Jiang Cheng's system interface suddenly pops up, scanning her with the detail. Name Han Anning, age 19, height 165 centimeters, appearance 92, body 93, privacy 0, friendliness 65, friend status. Looking at the screen, Jiang Cheng thinks to himself, her privacy score is 0. It seems Han Anning doesn't actually like, she probably just wants to conquer me. Anning leans over the hood of the car, panting slightly as she declines his offer. No, I don't need it. Please don't buy it. I'm just still savoring the drift I just did." Jiang Cheng stands casually nearby and asks, "You like it that much, why don't you just buy one?" Anning flashes him a charming smile and propositions him, "Brother Jiang, are you still looking for a girlfriend? If so, don't be too strict about gender. How about me?" Jiang Cheng's silver-haired friend wraps an arm around his shoulder, laughing as Jiang Cheng replies, "I'm male and I like women. Maybe I should ask Brother Wang if he likes me." His friend chuckles heartily, "Haha, Jiang Cheng and I have the exact same hobbies." Brushing off the jokes, Jiang Cheng waves his hand and says, "All right, enough joking around. The event here is over. Let's go to the party." He turns to Yinian, asking, "Yinian, are you going or not?" She gently holds his jacket, giving him an alluring look. "I'll be live streaming tonight, so have fun on your own. I'll be waiting for you to come back." Half an hour later at a lavish restaurant, the atmosphere shifts as a man in a blue shirt approaches. He is introduced as Wang Hao, a spoiled rich second generation. He smirks arrogantly, "Qi Yuan, wow, I never expected to meet you today." When Qi Yuan completely ignores him, Wang Hao continues his taunt. "Qi Yuan, what's wrong? Are you too scared to even speak to me? Have you become timid lately? Are you afraid of your grandfather?" The tension rises as a friend in a pink shirt steps up to defend Qi Yuan, telling Wang Hao, "Everyone says you're hopeless, but look at the people you hang out with, including newcomers. Who are these lowlifes that can't be trusted?" Wang Hao snaps back, "Who are you? What did I do to you? Watch your mouth." The friend continues to lay into Wang Hao. "I heard you got into trouble again and were punished by your father. Are you out here today to freeload? I'm not trying to be mean, but you come from a respectable family and I feel bad for your father." Jiang Cheng finally steps in, looking at Wang Hao with utter disgust. "Wang Hao, what can I say to you? Just get lost." The background context reveals that Wang Hao's family has deep connections in Shanghai, and he and Qi Yuan have a long history of bad blood, resulting in countless verbal battles that Qi Yuan usually has to endure. Feeling the weight of the situation, Qi Yuan sweats nervously, thinking Wang Hao has a special status. If this matter gets out of hand, it won't be easy to handle. Trying to de-escalate, Qi Yuan grabs Jiang Cheng's arm and pleads, "Brother Jiang, why don't you go first? Wang Hao's father holds a position in Shanghai, and this matter is difficult to resolve. You go first and I'll think of another way." Jiang Cheng stands his ground, questioning, "Wang Hao, what are you trying to do? We should resolve our own issues. Why involve our parents?" Wang Hao loses his temper, shouting into his phone while pointing aggressively at Qi Yuan. "Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Unless he kneels down in front of me and apologizes, there's no way to resolve this." He then screams at them, "You're not allowed to leave. I'm going to get you in there today no matter what. Once you're in there, I'll show you how you die. I'm not human if I don't kill you." Qi Yuan shouts back defensively, "Wang Hao, are you out of your mind? You started it yourself. If you hadn't been so foul-mouthed, would this have happened?" Jiang Cheng calmly grabs Wang Hao's pointing hand, ignoring the threats. "I won't let you get away with this. If I don't get you in jail, I'm not a Wang. Wang Hao snarled. Jiang Cheng dismissively tells his friends, "Okay, I'll listen to Brother Qi and the principal. Get out of here." Wang Hao fumes, his face contorted with rage. "Are you going to insult me again?" he demands. Jiang Cheng retorts bluntly, "So what if I curse at you, you son of a bitch?" Pushed over the edge, Wang Hao screams, "How dare you talk to me like that?" and suddenly draws a knife, raising it high above his head. He swings the blade down with deadly intent, but Jiang Cheng effortlessly dodges the attack with blinding speed. Moving faster than the eye can follow, Jiang Cheng grabs Wang Hao by the throat and unleashes a devastating flurry of slaps across his face. The rapid impacts echo through the restaurant as Jiang Cheng lands hit after hit, finally finishing the brutal combo with a vicious kick to Wang Hao's midsection. That was ruthless. The powerful kick lifts Wang Hao off his feet, sending him flying backward through the air. He crashes violently to the floor, sending a nearby plate and food scatter. He lies there, blood streaming from his nose, groaning a pathetic Despite being beaten down, Wang Hao clutches his knife from the floor and gasps out a final threat. "Do you know who my dad is? I'll take your life." Qi Yuan frantically grabs Jiang Cheng, pulling him back. "Brother Jiang, calm down. Don't bother with this kind of scum. Please don't lay a hand on him," he begged. The silver-haired friend steps in, adding, "Jiang Cheng, that's enough." Jiang Cheng stands over the bleeding Wang Hao and coldly declares, "You should be grateful that our country is a harmonious society governed by the rule of law." Watching the entire spectacle in shock, the silver-haired guy and Qi Yuan sweat profusely, with one of them thinking to himself, more than a dozen slaps. He actually did that. I've seriously never seen a person like Jiang Cheng, while the other thinks in panic, didn't I just say that Wang Hao's father has a status and position in Shanghai? Jiang Cheng fiercely grabs the battered Wang Hao by his collar, holding him up as his silver-haired friend watches in absolute shock. With a cold glare, Jiang Cheng declares, "Today, not everyone is as good-tempered as me." A woman with light brown hair watches the scene unfold with deep concern, thinking to herself, "What's wrong with Brother Jiang today? I've already told him about Wang Hao's background, but he just won't stop." The silver-haired friend looks down, visibly sweating as he calculates the risk in his mind. Although Jiang Cheng has a lot of liquid funds and is considered a capable guy, his family only owns a small construction company. Compared to someone like Wang Hao, a third-generation official with powerful connections, that's a huge gap. Unfazed by the surrounding panic, Jiang Cheng remains entirely calm as a blue holographic system interface appears before him, reading, "Because the host acted decisively, in line with the style of a tycoon, the host is rewarded with a privilege card for showing off." A confident smirk crosses his face as he thinks, "If I'm still timid and hesitant now that I have a system, then I've wasted my life. Look, if I don't indulge him, I'll get rewards from the system. That's a nice perk." Still clutching his bruised and swollen face, Wang Hao glares up with pure hatred and screams, "Do you know the consequences of hitting me? Do you know who I am?" Jiang Cheng's eyes narrow as he looks down at him, responding with an icy tone, "Wang Hao, let's just let it go today. From now on, don't mess with me, and I won't mess with you either, okay?" Refusing to back down, Wang Hao furiously yells back, "You started this, so come at me if you dare." "What's with the sarcastic remarks you're making to my friend? You weren't the one who got beaten up, but I was beaten like this. How am I supposed to live in Shanghai after this?" He violently points a finger at Jiang Cheng, threatening, "I'll settle the score with you later, but today I'll show him what I'm made of." Shanghai isn't a place where just any Tom, Dick, or Harry can run wild. Hoping to de-escalate the situation, the silver-haired guy checks his phone and offers, "Jiang Cheng, why don't you go first? I'll handle this." But Jiang Cheng immediately dismisses the idea, stating, "No need, I'll handle it myself. Since he keeps saying he'll make me pay, I'll see who has a stronger background today. Remember, you're not the only one with connections in this world." Qi Yuan steps in, trying to reason with him. "Brother Jiang, why don't you go first? Wang Hao's father holds a position in Shanghai, and this matter is difficult to resolve. You go first, and I'll think of another way." Ignoring the advice, Wang Hao smugly dials his phone, taunting them. "Qi Yuan, don't think I don't know what you're thinking." Unless he kneels down in front of me and apologizes, there's no way to resolve this. Frustrated, Qi Yuan shouts back, "Wang Hao, what are you trying to do? We should resolve our own issue. Why involve our parents?" Seeing the situation spiraling, Qi Yuan turns back to his friend, "Brother Jiang, with his father's background, this isn't something that can be easily handled. How about I call my father and ask him to think of a solution?" Jiang Cheng, completely calm, pulls out his own phone and simply replies, "No need," preparing to make a call home. He thinks to himself with a smirk, "System, I want to use the privilege card to show off." Putting the phone to his ear, Jiang Cheng looks a bit confused as an unfamiliar voice asks, Is this Jiang Cheng?" He cautiously replies, "I am Jiang Cheng and you are?" On the other end of the line, an older, distinguished man sitting comfortably in a leather office chair chuckles warmly. "HMPH, I knew that Jiang Jianming, that unfilial son, hadn't told you about our existence." The older man leans forward with an enthusiastic smile, continuing, "I'm your second grandkid. Why didn't you ask your family to handle this? If your grandpa's informant hadn't alerted you in time, were you planning to deal with it yourself?" Jiang Cheng is utterly bewildered by the revelation, a tiny, shocked expression appearing as he stammers out, Yes, second grandpa. I just found out I have two grandpa. The second grandpa immediately begins to lightly scold. Don't follow his example. As the only grandson of the Jiang family, you must tell the family if something happened. Otherwise, what have your grandpa and I worked so hard for our whole lives? Wasn't it just to make life comfortable and easy for you younger generation? Jiang Cheng listens closely, processing everything as he thinks. Second grandpa's words contained a lot of information. The older man's tone turns serious and authoritative as he instructs. Due to my special status, it is not convenient for me to come in person. I will send someone to handle this matter. If anyone dares to nag you again, you can slap them across the face. Jiang Cheng nods affirmatively, saying, I understand, second grandpa. The second grandpa's expression softens into a fond smile as he adds, Hey kid, come visit your two old men in Kyoto sometime. We're getting old, especially your grandpa. Going out often causes too much trouble for everyone. But no matter what conflicts we have at home, we're still family, understand? Jiang Cheng smiles gently into the phone. I know, second grandpa, I'll come to see you in a while. Beside him, Chi Yuan looks incredibly confused and nervously asks, What time is it now? Do you even feel like visiting grandpa? The scene shifts abruptly as a woman with an elegant but overwhelmingly arrogant aura struts into the building. It is Lin Lan, Wang Hao's mom, and she is closely followed by Director Kai of the nearby police station. She forcefully commands, Director Kai, Captain Chen, you must handle my son's case fairly and promptly. If you can't handle it well, I can find someone else who can. Desperate to appease her, Director Kai turns and furiously screams at his subordinates. Whoever it is, hitting someone is a crime. You can't even handle this small matter properly. How was Director Inspector Kai taught you all? Zhao Chen, what are you doing following this guy who caused an accident and injured someone? Take this kind of terrorist away right now. Zhao Li, go check the surveillance footage. Portly officer immediately salutes, responding nervously. Okay, direct. Lin Lan rushes over to her battered son, her face filled with worry as she gently holds his bruised cheek. Son, how did you get beaten up like this? Does it hurt? Let's go to the hospital first, she asks. Wang Hao glares past her with pure venom in his eyes, snarling, Mom, which hospital? I want to see that kid's hand broken. I won't let this go. He grits his teeth in absolute rage, plotting internally once he's inside, even if he doesn't leave anything behind, I'll make sure he suffers a lot. Fulfilling his orders, an aggressive police officer marches up to Jiang Cheng and holds up a pair of handcuffs, stating sternly, You are now suspected of maliciously harming others. Please come with us. Jiang Cheng doesn't even blink, staring the officer down coldly as he challenged, What if I don't leave? The officer's eyes widen in shock and anger as he shouts, Not leaving. Suddenly, a line of sleek black luxury cars pulls up outside, and a squad of imposing, broad-shouldered men in sharp suits marches into the venue. The sudden arrival leaves the police officers looking on in surprise. A sophisticated man with glasses steps forward from the group of bodyguards, pulling out his ID badge with a professional smile. He is Shen Chong, Jiang Cheng's second grandpa's private secretary. He presents his credentials to the stunned cops, saying, Director Kai, Captain Chen, this is my work ID. The police officers inspect the ID closely, clearly intimidated, as one of them nervously asks, I wonder what brings Secretary Shen here. Secretary Shen turns his attention to Jiang Cheng, respectfully handing him a business card. Young Master Jiang, hello. My name is Shen Chong. I am your second grandpa's subordinate and personal secretary. I happen to be in Shanghai today handling some matter. Your second grandpa learned that you are having some trouble here and specially asked me to come and take a look. Jiang Cheng accepts the card politely, replying, Sorry to bother you. Secretary Shen pushes up his glasses, his smile unwavering as he reassures him. You're too kind. You're the future successor of the second master, so you're practically my boss now. If you need anything in the future, just let me know. Watching this unbelievable turn of events, Chi Yuan and the silver-haired friend are completely dumbfounded. Chi Yuan stares in shock, wondering, it really is Jiang Cheng's family. Just what is Jiang Cheng's family background? The silver-haired friend is equally floored, watching the army of bodyguards outside and thinking, is this from Jiang Cheng's family? He recalls the history of their conflicts, noting internally, Wang Hao's family has some connections in Shanghai. He and Chi Yuan don't get along, and they've had countless verbal battles like today, which Chi Yuan can only endure. Each time, he looks back at Jiang Cheng with immense newfound respect, continuing his thought process more than a dozen slaps. He actually did that. I've seriously never seen a person like Jiang Cheng. Didn't I just say that Wang Hao's father has a status and position in Shanghai? Unwilling to accept defeat, Lin Lan angrily points a finger at the police, screaming, What are you doing? What kind of law is that? Director Kai, it seems you don't really want to be the director anymore, huh? Fine, I'll call my husband right now. You think you can just let someone beat up my son for nothing? I don't believe it. Jiang Cheng looks at her with absolute disdain, retorting, It's true what they say, birds of a feather flock together. Do you really think the whole of Shanghai is yours? Lin Lan glares back at him with supreme arrogance, scoff, Even if Shanghai isn't my personal property, dealing with an outsider bumpkin like you is more than enough. Jiang Cheng simply smiles, unfazed, fully confident in his newfound back. Beside him, Secretary Shen steps up, pushing up his glasses with a cool, collected expression. Jiang Cheng boldly replies, Oh, I'll see how you plan to deal with me today. Lin Lan speaks with a sharp tone, asking who the man is and when it became his place to speak about things in Shanghai. The manager introduces himself as Shen Chong, the private secretary to Jiang Cheng, president of Mingsheng Group. He explains that Mr. Jiang Cheng is their president's grandson and that their president takes today's events very seriously. Since he is still in Beijing, he has entrusted the manager with handling the matter. Wang Hao's mother gasps and asks if she heard correct. The man in the blue hoodie thinks to himself that Jiang Cheng's background is actually that of the only grandson of a billionaire. The president of Mingsheng Group is a big shot in the whole country, so no wonder Jiang Cheng is not flustered at all when he encounters this kind of thing, and even acts extremely arrogant. The man in the pink shirt thinks that, moreover, President Jiang Chenghang's ability to lead Mingsheng is not only due to his outstanding abilities, but also because he has an older brother who has made great contributions within the system. Whenever there is a large-scale military parade, he will definitely have a seat in the first row. The manager confidently asks Madame Lin how she intends to explain today's events to young Master Jiang. Madame Lin thinks to herself, how did it suddenly become about giving him an explanation? Did they get the wrong script? Her son, the one who started the trouble, speaks loudly, asking if they are kidding him. He claims it was that country bumpkin who hit him and that there is CCTV footage of him. He demands to know what they are going to explain and how they plan to compensate. The manager responds that according to the information he has, Wang Hao initiated the assault. After his client retaliated in self-defense, Wang Hao attacked again with a knife, which prompted their second act of self-defense. All of the above actions were provoked by him, and they now have the right to file a lawsuit against him for intentional assault. Wang Hao shouts that it is utter nonsense and asks how the victim has been turned into the perpetrator, pointing at his injuries. Madame Lin shouts at her son to shut up, calling him unfilial. Her son is confused, wondering what is wrong with his mom all of a sudden, and asking if that country bumpkin has some powerful connections that they dare not offend. Madame Lin says this is just a misunderstanding between children and doesn't count. The manager casually asks if she is Chief Kai, and remarks that he didn't realize her district was so short-staffed that even a simple conflict case required her personal intervention. Everyone is in shock. The officer says in panic that she happens to be in this area and asks how Mr. Jiang Chenghang is doing late. She mentions that she had the privilege of attending one of his parties before and greatly admires him, hoping to have the opportunity to be invited again. She asks the manager to give him her regards. The manager says he will pass on her message, but notes that Mr. Jiang Chenghang would probably be unhappy if he knew she was here today, adjusting his glasses as he speaks. Madame Lin slowly takes her phone and speaks to the other line, greeting Secretary Du and asking for his instructions. Secretary Du replies that he wouldn't dare give instruction, but he has heard that her family calls the shots in Shanghai now. Madame Lin asks what he is saying and how she could possibly surpass him. Secretary Du reminds her that she and Wang Gang are both in the system, and that she must never do anything detrimental to unity. Otherwise, he cannot protect her if something happens. Madame Lin asks if Secretary Du was calling about this kid. She acknowledges that his teachings have been enlightening and asks for his guidance on what she should do. Secretary Du says he will leave the instructions aside and just hopes she doesn't go astray. He reminds her that Wang Gang holds an official position and wears the national emblem, so she must keep her tail between her legs in front of the people and not wave it like a flag. Madame Lin agrees, saying it was her fault today and that she will sincerely apologize to this young man. The police officer thinks in shock, even his sweat visible on his face, that Shanghai is the economic center of China. For Secretary Du Wei as the leader here, to be reprimanded by old Master Jiang simply proves that Jiang Cheng's background is incredibly powerful. The officer smiles and says to young Master Jiang that she has some things to take care of back at the office and won't stay here any longer. She offers to treat him to a meal next time and invites him to come to the office to have tea with her if he has time. The two friends notice something strange and the pink one stops the blue hoodie one. Madame Lin says in embarrassment to young Master Jiang that it is her fault for not raising her son well and apologizes for what happened today, holding her son's hand tight while her son is visibly angry. Finally, our boy speaks, asking Wang Hao if he is not convinced. He tells him that he is not the only one with connections in this world and that one should leave a way out for others so they can meet again in the future. But he adds that they don't need to meet again in the future, so he doesn't need to leave him any way out. Wang Hao comes closer to our boy and coldly says his mom and him have already compromised and asks what more he wants. Jiang Cheng says he remembers Wang Hao attacked him with a knife first and that if he weren't so skilled, that knife would have stabbed. He mentions he is the only son in his family and offers a deal. If Wang Hao accidentally stabs himself today, they will call it even. Madame Lin asks what he said and protests that her son is also her family's only son, demanding how he could be so vicious. The manager tells Madame Lin to be careful with her words, reminding her that it was her son who was malicious first and that the Jiang family only has one grandson. If that knife had really been on him today, things wouldn't have ended so easily. Wang Hao asks if they know who his dad is, claiming his dad is Wang Gang and asking if they think they are really afraid of him. His mother tries to stop him and tells him not to say that, reminding him that Secretary Du Wei has already called and asking if he wants his dad to collapse. Madame Lin apologizes to young Master Jiang, saying her son was in the wrong today, and she would be grateful if he would not hold it against him. In despair, Wang Hao finally says he is sorry and admits that what happened today was his fault, asking for forgiveness. Meanwhile, our guy is just chilling with his game. Wang Hao demands to know what exactly he wants and tells him to give a straight answer. Our guy repeats that if he can do that, then their issues will be resolved. Wang Hao screams that it is impossible and says he has already apologized, telling him not to push his luck. The man in the pink shirt thinks that although he usually hates Wang Hao too, isn't brother Jiang's approach a bit cruel? Jiang Cheng says he doesn't care and tells them they can just leave, but only if they can afford the consequences. Wang Hao asks why he is targeting him like this, and accuses him of abusing his power for personal gain. The main character answers that just because he got slapped a few times doesn't mean he is the victim. He points out that if this had happened to any other ordinary person, Wang Hao probably would have killed them by now when he first started hitting them, and asks why he didn't admit he was abusing his power for personal gain then. The man in the blue hoodie thinks that Jiang Cheng is right, and that society is inherently hierarchical. If this happened to any other ordinary person, they would have been 100% killed by Wang Hao, and their families would likely have lived in constant threat and fear for the rest of their lives. Jiang Cheng coldly tells Wang Hao that he has plenty of money and time, and that if he lets someone like him run rampant in society, more innocent people will only be bullied and humiliated by him. Wang Hao calls his dad and screams in disbelief. His father says that Grandpa Jiang is a man covered in medals, and he really can't do anything about this. He tells his son that he has told him before that the higher his position, the more careful he has to be with his words and actions, because every move he makes represents their entire family. He reminds his son that he is almost 30 and to think carefully about how their family has worked so hard to get to where they are today, and asks if he is going to ruin it all in his hands. Wang Hao is in shock and can't believe his dad said that. He asks if he stabs himself with this knife, will they be even? He shows the kitchen knife and says Jiang Cheng has to keep his word. Our man says of course he is an honest person. And so that happened. Wang Hao really got what he deserved. His mom is in shock and screams for an ambulance, calling him a silly child. Wang Hao says now they are even while the blood is dripping. Our man calmly says okay, they are even now, and tells him he can go. The ambulance arrives and they somehow make. Wang Hao's mom tells him to hurry because they have to get to the hospital right away and he can't afford to lose his hand. The blue hoodie friend says they will meet again next time. The pink one says he has caused so much trouble and will apologize properly another day. Our guy says that is serious and reminds them they are brother, telling them to just call him anytime. The manager slowly pats young Master Jiang's shoulder and tells him to get in the car, that he will take him home. Inside the car, the young master says, smiling, that surprisingly, the comfort level of this car is in no way inferior to that of a Rolls-Royce. The manager laughs and says this was custom made and is Mr. Jiang's exclusive car in Shanghai, and he can use it whenever he needs it while fixing the car's belt. The manager casually gives a black card to our boy and says furthermore, President Jiang instructed him before he came that this card had been reserved for him for over a decade so he could spend it freely. He wanted him to make a big splash and let more people know him, because he didn't want something like today to happen again. The young master asks if he is going to let loose and make a big show of it, and asks how much money second grandpa gave him. They arrive at the house and the manager says if he needs the car, to feel free to use it anytime. He says if Mr. Jiang has no other instructions, he will head back now, and tells him to call anytime if he needs anything. The young master casually says okay and bye. Inside the bedroom, the young master calls his dad. He thinks internally that they didn't even bother to make a phone call after everything was settled. After he says that, a woman comes with a provoking face, and the young master asks from the other line about this second grand. The voice on the other line says it's a long story and promises to tell him when the time is right, but isn't in the mood right now. The young master says not in the mood, and guesses he probably got scolded by grandpa and great-grandpa. He asks if he can't say it now because he is feeling really anxious if he doesn't understand the situation. Person on the other line says anyway, now he knows his grandpa isn't an ordinary person, so he should remember not to go out and do anything wrong and to be careful what he says and does. Of course, if he encounters another insignificant kid like today, to call his old man immediately. The young master says listening to old Jiang's domineering words, wasn't he supposed to be careful with his words and actions? So Wang Hao's family background is considered an insignificant kid. He says okay and hangs up. The woman from the very beginning has been waiting for him to finish his call and asks Mr. Jiang if the bath water and dinner are ready, and if he would like to take a bath first or have dinner first. And the young master begins his evening activities and says today he is not interested in any other food. This guy knows how to enjoy the night. The next day, the young master is leaving the place and comes to the blue hoodie friend. The young master asks why he called him out so early and if his house is unsellable. But the friend says screw you, it's already 1 p.m. and he hasn't been able to sleep well since what happened yesterday, never knowing he had such a powerful back. Our guy is eating and talking and asks if he is really that timid. The friend says Chi Yuan, thank goodness he was all right in the end. Otherwise, if his old man found out, he would be in big trouble. The young master just asks if he can stop exaggerating. The friend says because of his background, he was affected by this incident, and anyone would be shocked to find out suddenly. If he had said something earlier, everyone would have been prepared. Although he has seen all sorts of grand occasions and important figures, the real dragons always lurk in the shadow. Take Jiang Cheng, for example. The young master interrupts him by saying he doesn't care if he is rich or what his background is like, because he is not as rich as him, so why should he say anything? The friend says that day when they were drinking, he remembers he mentioned that he wanted to buy an apartment in their building. The young master says yes, it is used as an office area. The friend looks up and says okay, let's go after they finish their noodle. In some important place that the young master came to, it is full of people welcoming, saying young Master Wang and young Master Jiang have arrived and showing them the way. The friend says he has selected the best location. There are 3 buildings in the east section. The south section is already sold, and the central section is for a hotel and not for sale. They can sell 1 floor or multiple floors, and asks what he thinks. If not, he can take him to other sections. But the young master says rumors circulated that Wang Kongming was completely unfamiliar with his company's business, proving that rumors are indeed unreliable. The young master asks the staff if that building has already been sold. The staff smiles and says the ones in the East District are not yet for sale. But the young master didn't like that answer and says to bring him there. Inside the room, the young master's friend points somewhere on the map and says their office building has a very comprehensive management system and standard, all of which meet the international 5-level standard. The young master asks how much this costs. The staff says young Master Jiang, the current market price in Dawan is 20,000 yuan per square meter. The young master's friend says all right, just tell him his bottom line and stop with the pretense. The staff, touched by the young man's words, says young Master Wang, the market price is indeed this price, but their lowest internal price is 18,000. His friend's price is naturally calculated based on their internal price. The young master's friend says 18,000 is indeed their internal price, but let's calculate it as 16,000 today. The young master thinks internally that good heavens, the market price and the internal price are 4,000 yuan different. No wonder the real estate industry is known for ripping off ordinary people. This price difference is practically sucking their blood. However, to be honest, this price for this location isn't expensive at all and is actually fairly reasonable. The staff says young Master Wang, this is against the rules and he needs to report this to headquarters first. The young master's friend says no need, he will just tell his dad. The staff outside is smiling and nodding, but internally thinks what a high-profile and unruly prince. The young master's friend asks Jiang Cheng which floor he has chosen. The young master asks what the total price is for the entire building. Everyone is in shock and the staff's jaw drops. Internally, he thinks he thought young Master Jiang was just a rich kid buying an ordinary office building, but he didn't expect him to want an entire building. No wonder young Master Wang personally received. The staff asks young Master Jiang if they are talking about the entire building. The lowest possible price would be a round number of 6.5 billion. The young master says then he will take the whole building. By the way, he asks if there are any large China Merchants Bank branches nearby, the kind that can transfer billions at once. The young master's friend says yes, and asks if they should bring the contract with them to avoid the representatives having to run around. The young master says okay, they will handle it together. The staff says okay, and while sweating, calls the bank manager and tells them to get ready. Gasping for air, the staff thinks normally selling 1 or 2 units a month would be a cause for celebration, but this time he sold an entire building. This single sale alone will earn him several years' worth of salary, and it is the greatest highlight of his career. In a branch of a bank in Shanghai, a young, welcoming guy who is actually the president doesn't look like it at all, but let's move on. Su shows the way and says young Master Wang, his arrival is an honor to his humble abode, and invites him to come in and have some tea. The friend says President Su, he is here today mainly to introduce some business to him. This is his good brother Jiang Cheng, a client who is even more impressive than him. Su is in shock and can't believe what he heard or saw, but thinks why does it seem like young Master Wang actually shows a hint of respect for young Master Jiang. Someone personally brought here by young Master Wang must be no ordinary person. They shake hands and President Su greets Mr. Jiang, thanking him for choosing them and promising to do his best to serve him wholeheartedly. The young master says President Su is too kind and suggests they get down to business. Inside a special room with a very ordinary view, someone asks young Master Jiang what kind of business he wishes to conduct today. The young master says he bought an office building from Principal Wang's family and wants to handle some money transfer business. Internally, he thinks the most crucial point about this expense is that it requires a one-time transfer, after which the critical hit card will be used. This will be his largest expense to date, and he wonders what multiplier it will give him. Our boy asks for the bank card so he can transfer the money. The lady asks how much he needs to transfer. The president thinks to himself that at most a few hundred million or tens of millions might be transferred out of an office building, and it's nothing special. The young master says to transfer the 5.5 billion first, and then the rest will be transferred in the second batch, smiling like he is buying sock. Seriously, the president can't believe his eyes and asks young Master Jiang if he means 5.5 billion, saying he must have heard wrong while looking at the card in front of him. The room goes quiet for a second, and then my guy speaks up. Any questions? And he doesn't hold back. Surely a bank this big can't even handle a 5.5 billion transfer, right? He's got a spending bonus card to use, and if he transfers even 100 million less, the bonus drops significantly. So it's all or nothing. 5.5 billion in one go, no compromises. President Su's brain is already doing back. He's thinking this card definitely didn't come from our brand. And when he suggested transferring 5.5 billion first, that confirms there's way more than that on this card. He's low-key wondering which branch got lucky enough to land such a massive client. He tries to play it cool. Mr. Jiang, a transfer this huge can't be done in one shot. Large payments require advance appointments, and we don't have that kind of liquid capital sitting around right now. But internally, he's panicking. You deposited your cash at another branch, and now you want to pull it all out from mine. I'm gonna have to find over 5 billion in new revenue just to fill this gap. Isn't that basically asking for disaster? My guy isn't backing down. He lays it out. President Su, your branch is one of the biggest in Shanghai. Here's the deal: if you can round up this money and push it through in one transfer, I'll open a new account here and deposit at least 10 billion right after. What do you say? And just like that, President Su's jaw hits the floor. His eyes go wide. Even the friend standing nearby can't process what he just heard. The staff member in the corner is losing it internally. Is this what the rich people's world looks like? They move out 5.5 billion and then casually drop another 10 billion back in. Where does all this money even come from? They treat billions like pocket change. Even our young master isn't this reckless. President Su finally finds his voice. Mr. Jiang, 10 billion, are you serious? My guy shrugs like it's nothing. Conservative estimate, at least 10 billion, maybe a few hundred billion if things go well. But the premise is simple. You gotta be able to handle it. Internally, he's already running numbers. If that 5.5 billion triggers a critical hit and cashback, even a basic double crit would push it to 110 billion. Even if I'm having the worst luck ever, I wouldn't end up with just a double crit, right? The friend is shook. Even if I asked my dad to hand over tens of billions, he probably couldn't pull that much together right away. Meanwhile, President Su is doing mental cartwheels. Tens of billions. Does that mean we're gonna smash our targets for this quarter and the next one combined? My guy cuts through the noise. President Su, what's the verdict? Can we do this or not? Let me make one thing crystal clear. If we can't arrange a one-time transfer, then the next few hundred billion is off the table. Simple as that. President Su hedges. Mr. Jiang, does it absolutely have to be all in one go? Even the friend tries to mediate. Jiang Cheng, you don't have to do it all at once. We're like family, we can split it into batches. My guy waves it off. Too much hassle. I don't have that kind of time. President Su, can we do it or not? If not, let's not waste each other's time. And internally, he's calculating, how much would I lose if I split it up? President Su caves. Mr. Jiang, give me a moment. I need to make a call. He's already scheming though. You can count on one hand the number of people in this country with over 10 billion in bank deposits. I've got to find a way to lock this in. My guy gives the green light, and President Su disappears to make his call, telling them to sit tight. The friend immediately pounces. Jiang Cheng, you're insanely rich. You just dropped 5.5 billion and you've still got 10 billion left. Do you have any idea how jealous I am right now? My guy smirks. Why would the son of the richest man need to be jealous of anyone? The friend gets real. Honestly, I've never had that much money in my account. The more I see how the top tier lives, the more I realize I'm nothing, especially after meeting you, who's been crushing my ego non-stop lately. My guy's response is cold but playful. This is just the beginning. You're gonna face way more torment in the future, so brace yourself. He drops some knowledge too. Wang Kongaming might be crazy rich, but most of his wealth is borrowed. He mortgages his assets over and over, basically turning bank loans into his own cat. In reality, these big capitalists only have a few billion in liquid funds at any given time. The friend jokes, why don't you ask your dad if your family needs another son? My guy fires back. He's got plenty of sons, but he keeps going on about wanting a grandson. Friend is horrified. So I treat you like a brother and you want me to be your son. 10 minutes later, President Su comes back with a smile. He's gotten approval from his higher-ups, but there's a catch. They'll need about an hour to process it. He lays on the flattery thick, talking about how impressive it is for someone so young to have this kind of wealth, and how honored the bank. Then he drops the next move, offering to set up the highest level Black Centurion card with all the exclusive perks. And he introduces Zhu Yan, a sharp employee who also happens to be his niece. She'll serve as my guy's personal assistant from now on, handling anything he needs anytime. In walks Zhu Yan, young, attractive, and professional. She introduces herself with a warm smile. Internally, my guy's caught off guard. Damn, why are there so many beautiful women in Shanghai? It's like everywhere I turn, there's another stunner. Is this some hidden system feature designed to let me get into all kinds of shady dealing? Right on cue, the friend jumps in faster than lightning. Old Su, why didn't I get a personal assistant when I did business here before? Didn't I deserve one? President Su backpedals fast. Mr. Wang, how could that be? Your words are making me uncomfortable. When you applied for your card, I handled it myself. If you're not happy with your assistant, I'll replace her immediately. The friend waves it off. Forget it. Fortunes change every 30 years. I'll worry about it after I've made my money, then Director Su will see how powerful I am. President Su scrambles to smooth things over. Young Master Wang, you're quite the joke. I'll personally select an assistant whose abilities are on par with Zhu Yan's to serve you later. The dynamic here is something else, right? Zhu Yan knows how to handle herself. She hands over the documents. Please read this carefully and sign here if everything looks correct. My guy's avoiding eye contact like a shy rookie, but internally he's just going through the motion. She places 2 black gold titanium credit cards on the table. Mr. Jiang, your Centurion black gold titanium credit card is processed. The initial credit limit is 20 million yuan, adjustable based on your spending. You'll also receive a savings card from our bank. All the benefits are listed in this booklet. Feel free to check it when you have time. And then with a polite smile, you're too kind, Mr. Jiang. This is the least we could do. Here's the thing, before all this went down, President Su had a quiet word with his dear niece. When you go in there, make a good impression on Mr. Jiang. Do something to contribute to our family. Understood? She nodded. Understood. President Su's internal monologue is something else. Zhu Yan might be 3 years older than Jiang Cheng, but they're both young. With enough interaction, anything could happen. And with her working under him, combined with her skills and his connections, she'd easily become vice president in a few years. If she could form some kind of special bond with Jiang Cheng, it would be a whole new boost for his family. Hour later, President Su returns. Young Master Jiang, Young Master Wang, the funds have arrived. We can start arranging the transfer. My guy gives the nod. Okay, bring out all the contracts, sign them and push the payment through. And then the system pops off. Critical hit card successfully used. Congratulations, host. You've obtained the maximum critical hit multiplier of 5. The critical hit amount is 275 billion. But my guy's reaction, disappointment. Why is the critical hit rate so low? Multiplier 5 this time. This is probably the lowest it's ever been. His buddy is confused. Transfer successful. You're now the owner of that office building. Why that face? Something wrong. President Su is sweating bullets, nervously checking. Mr. Jiang, the transfer has indeed gone through. Would you like to confirm it again? Internally, he's terrified. Could Mr. Jiang be facing financial trouble? If he doesn't deposit the promised 10 billion, I won't be able to explain this to my superior, but my guy just shrugs. Yeah, I saw it. Internally, he's not sweating it at all. Who cares about the critical hit multiplier being unreasonable? As long as the system's around, why worry about money? And then the system levels him up again. Level up. Host, your level has risen to level 12. Congratulations. The stats flash. Name, JINGCHNG level 12 appearance. Age 18 wealth. 1,886,410 yuan and other information. He does the math. That record-breaking 5.5 billion spend pushed the system up 2 levels. Now he's earning 2 yuan per second. That's 172,800 yuan a day, over 62 million yuan a year. President Su is still sweating bullets, looking like he might collapse at any second. And then an employee breaks the tension. Mr. Su, President Su, our bank just received a massive remit. President Su shouts. How much? She answers. 27.5 billion. The friend's jaw drops. President Su looks like he's about to have a heart attack right then and there. And yeah, not the ideal place to stop, but that's where the chapter ends. President Su is internally doing backflips of joy. It seems that betting my future on Jiang Cheng's behalf was the right decision. The amount deposited now is not just 10 billion, but nearly 3 times that amount. Such a huge sum has already exceeded even the 3-year savings target. The friend, meanwhile, is completely mind-blown. Jiang Cheng just transferred 5.5 billion to our company, and less than a minute later, another 27.5 billion came in. Who exactly is he? He puts a hand on his cheek, staring at our boy like he's an alien. Are you sure your family doesn't own a bank? Our guy just smiles, cool as always. If my family owned a bank, they wouldn't have only transferred this small amount of money to me. The president and the pretty lady exchange confused glances. Meanwhile, the friend is losing it. What do you mean by such a small amount of money? Whose concept of money is wrong between us? You think 275 billion is too little? No, my guy says casual. It's just that I didn't expect it to be so little. I thought it would be more. The friend blushes, completely humble. I initially thought you regretted buying my apartment, but it turns out you just thought the price was too low. Now I understand why my dad always tells me not to get arrogant. There are always people better than you, and there's always something beyond your understanding. My boy turns to President Su. Please transfer the remaining 1 billion yuan to the account we just opened. Okay, Mr. Jiang. Internally, the MC is already planning his next move. I was worried about Daoyan's stock, but now the problem is solved. In a couple of days, I'll use this money to profit from the US stock market and double my money again. The friend says, don't forget about that stock thing you mentioned. I've already talked to my dad, and he gave me an extra 300 million, making it 400 million. Although that amount is nothing to you. My boy laughs and puts his hand on his friend's shoulder. Don't worry, we'll talk about this over dinner. I also have 2 friends I met in Shanghai. If there's an opportunity to make money, we can all do it together. The friend smiles and gives a thumbs up. What a loyal friend. Come on, let's get everything done. Let's eat and chat. As they're leaving, the friend says, says. President Su will be leaving now. Okay, take care, both of you. Feel free to call us anytime if you need anything. Back in his office, President Su finally sits down and lets out a long, calm breath. The pretty woman working on her laptop looks up. Uncle, what's wrong? You've made such a large deposit. Why are you sighing like that? The president grabs a bottle of water. It's nothing. I just feel a little down because I'm over 40 and still such a failure. The pretty woman glares at, Uncle, how come even you're getting into Versailles? Your current social status is something many people can never reach in their entire lives. But please don't follow Mr. Jiang's example, complaining that 20 billion is not enough. How am I supposed to live on a monthly salary of only tens of thousands? The president takes a sip. By the way, there shouldn't be any problems with the transferred funds, right? Don't worry, Uncle, I've checked. The funds came from the US stock market. Internally, the president is relieved. That's right, if there were a problem with this amount, the government would have already sent people over. It wouldn't have remained silent until now. He leans forward. Jiang Cheng is not a simple person. Zhao Yan, you will be his personal assistant from now on. Be careful to try your best to meet all his requests and don't let your uncle's good intentions go to waste. The pretty woman nods. I know, Uncle. I will definitely do my best to provide good service. The uncle smiles. I had ulterior motives in making you his personal assistant. As the saying goes, proximity breeds opportunity, and at your age, you're probably at the stage of dating. If things go well. She freezes, flustered, staring at her uncle. He pats her head. Good thing you know you can't find many clients like Jiang Cheng anywhere in the country. You and I are lucky. As long as we keep this big client firmly in our hands in a few years, your uncle's position might be yours. Meanwhile, in a private room at the Peace Hotel, the group is partying. Red shirt friend shouts, Old Jiang, I'm so glad to see you again. I didn't expect you to know old. Wang too, yellow friend chimes in. Isn't it a coincidence? The social circle is so small, yet your car accident has made the news. Are you all right? My boy puts his hand on his friend's shoulder. It's okay, the car is fixed now. The principal even helped me fix it. Red shirt one, could it be that old Wang hit Jiang Cheng? Old Wang, do you think that's possible? Am I really that bad at driving? I was just helping a friend out, but thanks to him, I got to know Jiang Cheng. Yellow one thinks while drinking. Old Wang is considered a top figure in Shanghai's entertainment circle, yet he said something that made Jiang Cheng look bad. My boy laughs. I never imagined that one day I would actually have dinner with the Shanghai emperor, and the nation's husband. Gray hair friend smiles reluctant. Don't mention that title. If those women in China knew you spent 65 billion to buy my family's office building, you'd be their new national husband. You're just too low. Maybe I should buy you a news story tomorrow. Red shirt one. No way, holy crap, what did you say? 65 billion to buy an office building from your family. Yellow hair one. Old Jiang, you've gone all out, buying this entire building. What kind of investment are you planning to make? Gray-haired close friend. Don't you know, just now we went to the bank together and paid off the entire amount. Yellow-haired one. Jiang Cheng, if you have any good projects, could you give me a hand? I don't have much capital, but I'd be happy to help you pick up the scraps. Red shirt one, count me in too. I want to pick up some trash as well. My boy, I recently heard some insider information about a US stock that promises high return. If you're interested, you can follow along and maybe earn some pocket money. Red shirt one, insider information on US stocks. Old Jiang, who told you that? Is it reliable? My boy, I can't say who said it, but I'm just putting the message out here tonight. If you want to join, you can. If you have any doubts, that's fine too. We're just going in to have some fun anyway, so don't let this affect our friendship. Internally, he's thinking, news like Daoyan's financing couldn't be revealed to them, even though they didn't have that much capital right now. As for the one-off opportunity to profit from the US stock market, it was perfectly fine for everyone to get on board and play together. Although I no longer need to leverage their connections, they're still friends, and since I can't earn all the money myself, sharing some with them is no big deal. Yellow-haired one. Old Wang, judging from your expression, you seem to have known about this all along, right? How much are you planning to bet? Close friend. I found out last night. When I told my dad, he gave me another 300 million yuan and told me to work hard with Jiang Cheng. He said 100 million yuan was too stingy. My boy thinks. Unexpectedly, this matter even alerted Wang, the richest man in China. The other guys are thinking, damn, the Wang family is now the richest family in the country. And they're not only behaving extremely humbly towards Jiang Cheng, but they're also planning to work hard. If even someone as cautious as Wang Jianlin is optimistic about this matter, then it means the risk is very low. My boy puts his hand on his friend's shoulder. Okay, I should be able to earn a small fortune by that. Red shirt one. A small goal. Old Jiang, are the returns really that high? Gray-haired one. That's how it is for now. At the very least, you'll earn 25 points. Yellow-haired one. Wait a minute. I need to call my dad too and ask him to spare some money. Red shirt one also looks at his phone. While I certainly don't have hundreds of millions, it's still very possible for me and my sister to reach a small goal together. My boy, calm down, think it over carefully tonight and then follow through. Yellow hair one, what are you waiting for? You two are already on the bus. What am I still dawdling about? I can't wait any longer. I have to go out and make a phone call right away. Red shirt one, yeah, Jiang, whatever you say, I will definitely get on board. No questions asked. After they leave, my boy is about to eat his meal when Annie appears behind him, eyes wide open. She runs to him, shouting, "Brother Jiang, my guy." "Annie, where's your mom?" "My mom. She's having dinner in the private room." My boy thinks. Her shifty eyes are the hallmark of a mischievous kid caught red-handed doing something wrong. "Okay, which private room is your mom in? Take me to." "Ah, it was probably. Brother Jiang Cheng, I've forgotten too. I was so happy to see you that I couldn't remember." "Annie, you didn't sneak out again, did you? Your mom doesn't know, right?" He pretends to be angry. "No, brother Jiang Cheng, don't be angry. I heard that my mom is going on blind dates here, so I came to find her." "Don't worry, brother Jiang Cheng, I have a GPS tracker on. Mom will definitely find out soon. Besides, mom often brings me here to eat, so everyone here knows me." My boy thinks. Looks like your mom does have a brain. Fortunately, this is in China and the environment is relatively safe. Annie pulls my boy. "Brother Jiang Cheng, come out with me quickly. We need to go save my mom." "Why do we need to save your mom? Wasn't she on a blind date?" "I don't want my mom to have a boyfriend unless that boyfriend is brother Jiang Cheng." My boy thinks, wow, you've got good taste. I treated you like a kid, but you want me to be your dad. Gray-haired friend. Whose kid is this? Interesting. My man, and Zin, a renowned collector, is the child of Sister Zin. Close friend, it was her. We'd met a few times before. I never imagined she had such a big child. "Old Jiang, she even looks a bit like you standing next to." Annie says happily. "I'm so happy that I look like Jiang Cheng." My boy, shocked. "Don't listen to his nonsense, just be like your mom." Yellow hair friend, I can't stand this situation. "Oh right, I just talked to my dad, but he only gave me 200 million. I scraped together some more myself and barely managed to raise 400 million. What should I do with this money?" Red shirt one, I didn't have that much. I only managed to scrape together 300 million. Gray hair friend, you guys are amazing. You got it done in just a few minutes. And right after that, the mom shows up. Lil Annie runs toward her shouting, Mom, I'm so sorry Jiang Cheng and all of you for causing you trouble again." My boy, there won't be any trouble and Annie is quite lucky. Then a guy named Wen Ang shows up. "Hello everyone, I'm Wen Ang, a friend of Nzin. My family is in the export business. You must be Annie, right? I'm Uncle Wen, don't run around like that anymore, okay? Your mom and I are very worried about you." Annie's eyes go wide like she's in danger. She pulls back, "Don't touch me." Annie's mom, "Annie, how can you be so rude?" Annie starts crying and sobbing like crazy. "I ran away because I wanted to find you, Mom. Don't you want me anymore?" Her mom hugs her. "Don't talk nonsense. How could Mom possibly abandon you?" Lil Annie, "So you don't want Dad Jiang Cheng anymore? Why are you having dinner with another man?" Annie's mom shouts. "Annie, what nonsense are you talking about?" And internally she's panicked. It's not that I'm worried about Wen Ang misunderstanding. Going on this blind date was just a family requirement. But if Jiang Cheng and his friends misunderstand, that would be problematic. Besides, I have feelings for Jiang Cheng. Red shirt one shouts. "Holy crap, what did I just hear?" Yellow hair one whispers to gray hair friend. "Old Jiang is something else. No wonder the two of them seemed so strange when they bought the watch last time." Gray hair, that's unlikely. Sister Zin is 26 and Jiang Cheng is 18. Logically, Jiang Cheng should have still been in junior high school a few years ago, right? When Ang is thinking. According to my investigation, Annie's dad shouldn't be this young. It's unlikely he's the man before me. This person is extraordinary and his friends are all wealthy and influential. Before figuring out his identity, it's best not to act rashly. That Nzin deliberately tried to humiliate me in our circle. It's not uncommon for unmarried women to have children, but they always send them overseas discreetly. Yet Nzin brought hers right out into the open, making it known to everyone. If Nzin weren't someone who could help my career, I wouldn't have listened to my family's wishes and pursued her. Once I marry Nzin, I must make her disappear. My guy says to Lil Annie, "Mr. Wen seems to be quite handsome. I don't know what Sister Zin means. If Sister Zin likes Wen Ang, she will take the initiative to explain. If Sister Zin doesn't like Wen Ang, she will take this opportunity to respond. I won't lose anything." Wow, my Annie says. "Dad Jiang, please make up with my mom, okay? That way she won't go out to eat with other people anymore." My boy, "You'll have to ask your mom about this. The decision rests with her." Annie's mom thinks, was Jiang Cheng testing my attitude? Annie adores Jiang Cheng. He not only saved her life, but also gave her the dadly love she craved. Although I feel grateful and fond of Jiang Cheng, his background is far more complex than my investigation suggested. I've never had any particular feelings for him. I didn't dare to think about it, and I shouldn't, but now I want to fantasize, to test the water. She smiles at her daughter. We've always gotten along really well. My guy thinks. Sister Zin neither denied nor corrected Annie's way of addressing me, which indirectly acknowledged the unusual relationship between us. Lil Annie, how about Mom and Dad Jiang Cheng take me to the amusement park? Her mom is always available, but Mom just don't know. Annie, Dad Jiang, when are you free to take me out to play? Let's go together, okay? My boy, Annie, if you behave well and don't run around alone anymore, I'll go play with you. Her mom turns to Wen Ang. Mr. Wen, I'm sorry, I probably won't be able to have dinner with you tonight. Annie never eats properly when she's out, so I'll take her home first. Wen Ang, it's okay, Zin, you take Annie home first and we'll have dinner together next time. Annie's mom thinks, I didn't expect Wen Ang to suddenly address me like that. What if Jiang Cheng misunderstands? She says, let's talk about it later. I'm usually very busy and don't have much free time. Wenang, it's okay, we'll do it when you're free. I have some things to do at the company, so I won't disturb your meal. Internally, he's seething. What are you trying to prove, you second-hand woman with a child? Let's see if you'll still dare to be so arrogant after I get. Lil Annie hugs her mom's belly. Mom, I'm hungry. How about we eat together at Jiang Cheng's place? Mom, Annie, Jiang Cheng has his own things to do and we shouldn't bother. Mom will talk to you when he has time, okay? Yellow hair friend. Sister Zin, it's all right. We're all family. Please eat here. Don't be shy. Gray-haired friend adds, just as we were having lunch, Sister Zin gave us a lesson on how to care for these watches. Red shirt one. That's right, that's right. We've known each other for so long, but we've never eaten together. The three of you are doing well. I'll ask someone to bring 2 more sets of bowls and chopsticks right away. Lil Annie, Mom, let's eat here. I'm starving. Wow, Annie's mom says. Then I'll have to bother. Right away, Annie grabs my boy's hand. Yay. I want to sit with brother Jiang Cheng. While eating, Annie says, Brother Jiang Cheng, could you pick that dish? Brother Jiang Cheng, can you feed me some soup? After dinner, at a high-end mansion on the Bund, my guy enters and says, I'm back. And here, I guess you all know what happens usually at these moments, right? So yeah, my boy's doing his usual thing again. I don't hate this, but ending the chapter like this is what I don't like. And that's where we leave it, bro. The financial empire is expanding, the social circle is growing, and there's some serious tension brewing with Wen Ang. But as always, the chapter ends on a cliffhanger with our boy back in his mansion doing his thing. Let's wait for the next chapter.
2 of them are getting closer on the bed and Xiao asks, Jiang Cheng? Why did you suddenly come? Did you miss me? Jiang says of course he misses her. Xiao holds his arm tight and says she just finished showering. Our boy says that's hard to say and suggests they have a water race while carrying her like a princess. She asks if she can decide on the starting point, and he replies no problem. Then they go to the bath and while bathing, the main character asks in a 1 versus 1 match against her, how many times has he not lost everything? She replies that boss Jiang is targeting 1 place in this competition and he's going to lose. The next scene is classic. She is screaming like crazy. Obviously it was joy of scream. The next day at the entrance of the Xingchen Investment Company headquarters, 2 of them get out of the sports car. She asks shyly, my dear President Jiang, I've been here for quite a while now. Look at my legs, they've doubled in size from waiting. The main character replies that Manager Chen seems to hold a deep grudge against him and offers to personally give her a massage later to make amends. Then Manager Chen asks, blushing hard and holding his arm tight, how could she possibly trouble President Jiang with such a small matter, telling her dear boss to please go. He replies it's no trouble at all and he'd be happy to do this kind of thing. Then she takes the lead and asks President Jiang if they should tell these girls he's the company boss, warning that if she says that, will these women eat him alive. He says behind her, very close, never mind, he's here to discuss business, not to date. He suggests they talk in her office alone and asks if she would like him to massage her legs. Then she says, President Jiang, let's get down to business. She won't trouble him with the leg massage and asks him to please go ahead. After entering the company, the staff girl named Zhao Linger welcomes him, saying President Jiang, he's finally come to the company. Her stats show age 24, height 165 centimeters, body 94, privacy 0, friendliness 70, loyalty 120, absolutely loyal. This is Zhao Linger, the top investor rewarded by the system. She was already quite knowledgeable about the stock market at the age of 19. She was recommended by a top university in China to study abroad. Before being recruited by the system, she worked on Wall Street. Her friendliness and loyalty were very high when they first met. He asks Linger if she's like Manager Chen, looking forward to him coming to the company every day. Linger bows respectfully while holding the documents and replies of course, he is the boss of their company. This is the first time she has met him in person, and he is even more handsome and younger than she imagined. Manager Chen, holding a couple of coffees, says, you little rascal Linger, you even dare to flirt with the boss? Did you bring all the materials I asked you to prepare? Linger says she's brought it. Then she gives the documents to President Jiang, saying these are the investment projects recently approved by the company, please take a look. He replies no rush. The main reason he came here today is to have the 2 of them manage a stock for him. She says stocks? She's quite familiar with that and asks which one he's referring to, saying he can give it to her. He says he wants to make an empty bottle of Coca-Cola. Manager Chen asks coldly, immediately standing up after hearing their conversation. Boss, are you talking about Coca-Cola? And the US stock market, right? The main character confirms it. Then she asks President Jiang. She doesn't understand why he has this idea. Coca-Cola is the world's largest beverage company, holding a 48% global market share. It's also the stock with the longest holding by Buffett, the world's richest man in the current financial market. Trying to attack Coca-Cola is simply asking for trouble. The 3-day chart of US stocks had already given him a clue, so he naturally trusts the system 100%. However, this is difficult for outsiders to explain. The main character just sips his coffee and says he's already made up his mind about this, so don't worry. He knows what he's doing, just do as he says. Also, a few people will be transferring some money in tomorrow, and he himself will be transferring over 20 billion. Get everything ready. Just focus on the operations. They must use the maximum leverage they can to short sell. Understand? Manager Chen says she has a question. Can you tell her if there's any inside information about this? She thinks to herself that the boss is actually investing so much money in making empty Coca-Cola bottles. He must have some inside information, right? The main character replies he does know some inside information, and if they too have any spare money, they can invest some. He thinks to himself that he didn't originally intend to tell them about this. Although they were both system-appointed managers, they hadn't actually worked together on the business before, so he thought he could take this opportunity to test them. Chen says she understands, but the sudden influx of over 20 billion yuan might attract attention and easily alert the enemy. She estimates that the amount needs to be reduced to make the operation easier. He asks what a suitable estimated value is. Can she suggest one? She says a target of 10 billion is already the limit that can be achieved, given that there are too many shareholders holding such resilient stocks. Our boy thinks he originally thought he could go all in, but it seems he was too hasty. However, he has to play it safe in this kind of thing. Making a net profit of 2 or 3 billion in 2 days is barely acceptable. He says okay then, they can do it ahead of schedule after they complete the statistics later. The two girls say good boss, they promise to complete it well. Then the scene cuts to the main character sitting in his car. On the phone group chat is about millions of money and the main character is also joining the chat. At the company, two girls are rushing holding their documents. One says, Sister Shui, do you think President Zhang's inside information is reliable? Sister Shui replies she doesn't know, but someone who can come up with more than 20 billion yuan wouldn't be stupid. To short a popular stock like Coca-Cola, she doesn't think most people would do it. The boss must be quite confident to do so. Then Linger says that's right, she believes the person who made them return to China without hesitation is no fool. They'll know the results in a couple of days. If the inside story is true, then the boss is definitely not a simple person. Sister Shui asks how many times she has praised him today, and asks Linger if she wouldn't happen to have a crush on the boss. After all, he's really handsome. Linger says Sister Shui, she's not that shallow. Although she admits he's her type, she won't be interested in just a rich but clueless guy unless he's really capable. They are blushing and Shui tickles Linger, saying she bets she's the most stubborn one around. Then the scene comes to our boy calling Zhou Ying, asking where she is. He'll come find her and asks if they can have lunch together. She replies she works part-time at Century Plaza, so she probably won't have time during lunch break. He asks if it's a car show. She says while being fixed by Salon, yes, it's a small Bentley exhibition. Then he says he'll go take a look. The scene changes to the first floor atrium, CenturyLink shopping mall. 20 minutes later, Jiang Cheng arrives. Zhou Ying, with beautiful dress, is waiting for our guy, and after seeing him come, her sense of love toward him grows even more. Our boy extends his hand and asks if she could please tell him about this particular model. But she just rejects him by saying if he wants to learn about the car, just contact the salesperson dude. Other people seeing that start whispering that country bumpkin's way of flirting is so outdated. The cameraman says that guy was so frivolous, it's normal that he got rejected. Another person in a yellow jacket says as expected of the goddess he's set his sights on, so aloof. Our boy doesn't mind the whispers and says how about he shows them what he's capable of, watch how he wins over their goddesses. The ugly yellow jacket dude asks if he isn't afraid of being embarrassed later for saying something like that in front of so many people. Another one joins in, saying yeah, they don't even care about him anymore and he's still fantasizing. Just then, the salesperson comes and asks how he can help. The main character just waves his hand and says let him introduce the car next to the beautiful woman in the middle. The salesperson says, sir, this Bentley GT is their latest convertible model. It's all-wheel drive, equipped with the latest engine boasting a powerful 626 horsepower and an 8-speed automatic transmission. After sitting on the car, our boy with infinite money really asks how much this car is worth. The salesperson, with a grim face, replies 5 million. Then the main character asks the beautiful lady what she thinks of this car. Zhou Ying asks if he wants to buy it. He says if he buys it, can they go on a date later? She replies actually, she can still go on a date with him even if he doesn't buy it. One of the people earlier says holy crap, this kind of flirting actually works. Then this pretty woman is about to make all the males there have nosebleeds. Then the main character says no, that won't do. Actually, he came here to buy a car. The date was just a side thing. Sorry beautiful, even if she wanted to go on a date with him, he has to buy this car first. And she hasn't answered his question. Then the main character touches Ying's face and asks what she thinks of this car, and she replies this car is pretty good. It's very comfortable and looks nice too. The main character thinks to himself when he shared US stock information with Wang Tsongming and the others, the system rewarded him with 5 intermediate-level cashback cards. He only figured it out these last 2 days. Although the limit is only 2 million, it doesn't mean you can only buy things worth 2 million. It's only valid for single purchases exceeding 2 million, with the maximum cashback amount calculated based on 2 million. In other words, if you buy this 5 million car and win a double cashback card, you could get 4 million. This is the perfect amount of money to buy this car and get a great deal. The main character then gives his card and says since this beautiful lady likes it, fine, swipe his card. If he buys this car, will she go on a date with him later? The salesperson says well, if Miss Zhou agrees, it should be fine. She can just talk to the head butler. The main character says that's fine. The salesperson asks Mr. Jiang to please come and sit here for a moment. He'll process his payment immediately. He asks how he would like to make the payment. The main character then drops the bombshell by saying he paid in full, but the car isn't registered in his name. He wants to put it in her name. Even Ying is in shocked with a blushed face, looking right at the richest person on this manhwa, probably richer than Elon Musk, right? Or not, what do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comment.